at the front door prior to entering. And we're going in with an open, objective mind, looking through a lens of empowerment for families to have the right to choose how they will govern their affairs. The only thing we're simply doing is trying to observe this family's order and then determine whether what this family is choosing is working for this family. Go ahead, Shatara.
I was just gonna say, and if it's not working and the family sees that, I think that's when some conflict may come into the realm as well, when you have a social worker looking into this and trying to help the family think about this and make some changes. It can cause some conflict, especially from the social worker too, to be able to relay that in a non-judgmental way. And I think that's what we deal with on a daily basis when we're going into these homes.
Yeah.
Noticing the issues and again trying to be non-judgmental and not non-biased.
Nice.
But I'm just wondering, how do you get the family to move to that?
Nice, very good question, and I'm glad we're here. It really was not my intent or plan to share this at this stage of the training, but it naturally emerged, so I think this is a perfect place to share it. This is a reflective model. Everybody say that after me. This is a reflective model.
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 Okay, so reflective model means simply this. We are not lecturing into the family. We're not giving the family our opinion. We're not giving the family our thoughts. We're not judging and drawing conclusions for the family. Our sole responsibility is to serve as a vessel, a vehicle by which we can reflect back to the family what we observe them doing and give them an opportunity to make a choice about what they want to do with what they've seen. We are mirrors in this process. We are mirrors. Think about your experience in the morning when you arrive to your bathroom mirror. Think about how your mirror performs when you show up in front of it in the morning. When you stand in front of your mirror in the morning, what does your mirror do?
Ooh.
What does your mirror do? What does your mirror do? It's true, but it's interesting. Think of it. It shows you the truth. Let me ask you this. When you stand in front of your mirror in the morning, does your mirror give you its opinion of what you look like?
Yeah. No.
No.
Not verbally.
It doesn't change.
Does your mirror speak to you?
No.
I'm just
It's in the same spot.
make
It's
sure.
in the same spot. It shows the same
Bewitched.
thing. It is what it is. You can
Say
change-
that again, Andy.
It's in the same spot. It doesn't move. It's always there. You know where it's going to be. You can move your head side to side to make it look better or different, but that's what it is.
Does your mirror give you anything back that you don't put in front of it?
No.
Does your mirror add anything to you once you stand in front of it?
That's the process.
It's those pounds that I've been checking out for you.
That's the process.
What's the process?
Afterward, after
Okay.
you see, and it's like, it really definitely transforms back into this, it's the process. It shows you what's there, it's clear, cut and dry, the truth, that's what it is what it is.
It's not adding anything.
Mm-mm.
It's not going to take anything away.
But
It's
what
just-
you want it to be is a process, that's what I was just saying.
Yeah, you're absolutely
I put
right.
the face on and the.
It's absolutely right. Now, but see, there's a critical piece I want to hone in
That's
on.
the process.
As you're talking about the process, I want to hone in on each intricate step in the process. So you get up, you go into the bathroom or wherever you go in your home, and you make yourself available to the mirror, right? You stand in front of it. The mirror reflects back to you exactly what you're doing, exactly how you're looking. It doesn't add anything, it doesn't take anything away, it doesn't give its opinion of what reflecting. It doesn't give its perspective. It doesn't give you any advice. It doesn't give you any instruction. The only thing it does is reflect back to you exactly what you made available before it, right? You stand in front. The mirror reflects back to you exactly what you put in front of it with no instruction, no direction, no opinion. Then what happens next?
You can either ignore it or recognize it.
So, based on what the mirror gives back to you, it will immediately launch you into a process of self-analysis. You will begin to evaluate yourself. Look at all this stuff in the corner of my eye. Gosh, these bags have really gotten, whoa, I have so many more blemishes here. You begin to look at yourself, identify what you like and what you don't like. However, the natural tendency that we have is to hone in on what's wrong with us, what's not right. You could have had an amazing run with your skin glowing. You've made tremendous strides. You have this new, elixir that you're putting on your face, and it's having wonderful outcomes for you. But right when things start to look up for your skin, it just brings to your attention that the corner of my lips are dry. They didn't stand out and the rest of my face was dry. But now that my face is nice and clear and moisturized, listen, you will look at the reflection that's coming back to you and you will do a self-analysis. Once you analyze yourself in its natural state, you will then make some choices, make some determinations about what kind of action am I going to take on my own behalf to improve, strengthen, or resolve the issues that I have concluded. The mirror has done nothing but shown you yourself. Without any judgment, without any intention to direct you, tell you what to do, it just showed you yourself and immediately put you in a posture of self-analysis and decision-making about courses of action to take. That is pure and true empowerment. What I'm sharing with you is when we're with our clients and when we're with families, our primary fundamental role therapeutically is to be a mirror for our clients. If you don't remember anything, remember that. So Shatara, let's come back to what you said. Once we see this order, how do we share with the family what we saw in a manner that doesn't cause conflict with the family or cause the family to feel a certain way about us? Am I accurate in your line of question? Okay. So, what I'm saying to you is when you stand in front of your mirror in the morning and your mirror shows you yourself, do you get into a intense exchange of conflict with the mirror for showing you yourself in the morning?
No.
No, I'm saying do you? Because then we may have another level of mental health intervention. If we begin to argue with our mirror about what it's giving back to us,
Even the bathroom.
we may need another level of mental health intervention. Usually the tension between us and our clients, it usually is the result of us crossing the line in our attempt to push them places that they're not trying to go right now. And I'm cautioning us with push. Yes?
I would imagine this treatment could take a significant amount of time. right? You can't walk in and think that a family is able to look at themselves in the mirror and make these changes, you know, within 6 months.
Yeah.
Not saying, I mean, I think that it works well, but, you know, how do you move them into that process if they're not ready for it?
Right. Well, I think that's a fair and real question. I don't think that there's a concrete, hard answer that's going to be appropriate.
Yeah.
Because no matter what we do, we can't determine how much time it will take for a particular family. No matter what we do, we don't know how the family will receive that and how they will respond to it. We don't know. What I am saying is that by doing that, this is what we absolutely know. We absolutely know that in the moment that you've chosen to be reflective for your client has a heightened sense of awareness and consciousness of their state of being in the here and now, right now, and that happens immediately. And I'm saying much of the difficulty that we find ourselves trying to respond to in our clients are issues that our clients have a very difficult time looking at themselves. They have a difficult time doing that. They have a difficult time because to look at yourself provokes you into a posture of having to do something about it. You know, it's really hard to look at yourself purely and not feel some level of motivation toward action. You know, it's really difficult. Your client may not be saying that to you, however. You're sitting with your hands crossed on your pad. There you go. Did you see the enactment? I just reflected to her that she was sitting with her hands crossed on her pad. Did I say she was doing anything right or wrong?
No.
I did not. Did I tell her what to do? What happened?
She changed.
Why did you change? No, let me ask you this. Were you aware you were sitting with your hand crossed on your pad before I reflected that to you?
No.
When I reflected it to you, you had a greater level, heightened level of consciousness and awareness of self. As a result of becoming more aware of yourself, you then had an opportunity to make a determination about how you wanted to be right now. You tried to make a determination, is this the right posture? Is this the wrong posture? Should I be doing this? Should I not be doing this? I don't know. Well, in the not knowing, let me do something, I moved.
That happened very quickly, that process. But it happened.
Didn't take a lot of time, did it? Yes.
And I think wondering if it's how long it's going to take. I think it's meeting them where they're at. So every home we go into, the parent usually wants something to change.
Mm-hmm.
So just like with, I was just thinking about motivational interviewing, figuring out what they want to get out of it, and then getting that buy-in by moving in that direction. If we can't possibly, like if you take the mirror, you know you want to pluck that hair out, focus on the hair, and then you can move on to the pimples, and then you can move on to losing weight, and then the bigger issues that are harder to tackle. But just start small and build that trust by showing them, I'm listening to you, let's figure out this one particular thing. We're not going to focus on all of it right away, but find that one particular thing, and then it makes it easier and easier to tackle the harder things because you're getting them invested. But get that investment, start off smaller, and then move bigger, and I think that's how it can work. But if you try to go too big too soon, it's too much. If you go in there working on the weight issue, they might need to work on other things in the mirror first. You know?
And I'll touch that right before we close, but I want to move on to the next pillar of the element of family structure, and that is communication. 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 It is the vehicle by which we transact with one another. It's the vehicle by which we give and receive information. We give and receive love, which is the third pillar. It's tough to talk about communication in isolation from love, so I'll talk about them concurrently. Within a family system, the most important element is love. The most important element is love. We all are seeking love. What do we mean when we say love?
Acceptance.
Acceptance. That's a beautiful, beautiful term to try to express what is very hard to grasp. But acceptance is certainly a part of the love experience. I am wanted here. I am needed here. I am valued here. I am important. And I have concluded these things because of how I have experienced people responding to me. I have a real experience with my mom and dad protecting me. A real experience, my mom and dad expressing affection to me, hugging me, giving me affirmative words around my value. I can tell by how they look at me. It's a look in the eye that love is communicated through. I can tell in how hard they work to choose the right words to share with me. The mere fact that they talk to me or want to. They're concerned about how I'm doing, what I'm doing. I feel safe. I feel free to be me. I am accepted for who I am, totally, without any condition. There's an unconditional experience of wholeness that I feel when I'm in the presence of my family. When I'm in that space, from that footing, I can do and become anything. That is one of the ultimate responsibilities of the family. To love. And that transaction happens through communication. What this model is emphasizing is the importance of us observing the family in its natural processes to make a determination about how they communicate love. How does this family give and receive love? Now, this is interesting about communicating love. In a similar way that we all have different personalities, we all have different perspectives, we all have a different love language. It's a book, my wife read this book years ago, she shared it with me, The Love Languages. And she likes when she gets a little edge on me, because I'm supposed to be the social worker. She's an engineer, so she'll swerve into my lane and start trying to read social work books. And so she read this Love Languages book, right? And she began to talk to me about my language, about my love language. And I'm like, let me read this book. It was so powerful. I want to encourage anybody who hasn't read that book to check that book out. And I don't know the author in the here and now, but what that book reinforced for me was the fact that we all have a different love language. We all have a way that we experience love at its maximum level. And usually the way that you like to experience love is the way that you give love. Some people's love language is act of service. That was one of them. It's like act of service. Like, you don't have to be hugging on me and, all in my face. Just take care of your responsibilities and do what you're supposed to do so I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to experience that bigger than a thing of candy and flowers. That's what you can do. And usually what those people are going to do is be very task-centered, and they're going to see themselves as expressing their love by taking